Hey everyone, welcome back to another GrantMe video. First of all, Happy New Year, welcome to 2023. I hope your applications have been going on well. This is the final stretch for applications, so make sure you guys keep pushing and good luck. Today we'll be covering UBC Engineering, and we're just going to do the regular. We're going to go through the academic, a little program overview, and then we're going to jump straight into admissions, how to get in, and then we'll jump into student life, what it's like at UBC, and we'll finish off with how to fund your education and to see cover any scholarships that are available for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is academics. So jumping into a program overview, UBC Engineering is not a direct entry program, so the first year of university when you apply from high school is going to be general engineering. You don't have a concentration yet, so if you wanted to do like mechanical engineering, you would go through first a general engineering program in first year where there's a lot of fixed courses, and depending on your average, you reapply for second year to get mechanical engineering. So some of the positions are quite competitive. For example, you might need like a high 80s for computer engineering because that's quite popular, and then it varies just depending on your program. So it is not a direct entry, but I think this is honestly quite a good thing because you can go into engineering with an open mind, see what works for you, see what you like, see what you don't like, and then after that, you can kind of apply going into second year. So now moving into some career opportunities, UBC Engineering does have a co-op program, and 75% of all BC engineers are actually from UBC. This is like a crazy statistic. Every year there are new engineers coming up and rising, and 75% of them come from UBC. And then there are 4,500 employer partners from UBC Co-op, and then 90% of them are interested in hiring co-op students for a permanent position after graduation. So the employability of being an engineer at UBC are definitely great, especially within British Columbia. The next thing I want to talk about is exchange. So exchange is quite a popular program at UBC. They have a lot of partner schools, and kind of like the procedure to go to an exchange is first you would narrow down 3 university partners that you like to attend, and you have to meet the eligibility requirements of those 3 universities, and then once you're accepted to the Go Global program, you get an email and a submission, and then you'll get matched, and then you finally apply to your host university. So applying to this host university is like almost applying again to university, but basically you need to complete and submit like all relevant supporting documents, and there is a global fee that you have to pay $415. It's a little bit expensive, but if you're willing to put up the fee, you'll have a great experience. And some of the questions that are on the application are like, why do you want to study abroad? And at the 3 universities you selected, like how might this program contribute to your like personal goals, etc., and how might this experience contribute to your overall understanding of like global issues. So those are like some example questions that you would get asked in your application. Now moving on to course load, it is engineering, and of course engineering course loads are super heavy, and they generally have more credits of courses than any other program. And the programs are, I'll just like put the courses on the screen. There are a ton of courses. You have to finish 37 credits in your first year. This is all fixed for all engineers, so I'll just put it up on the screen. Just one thing to know is like this is quite rigorous, and you will have to take an English course in university as well. Alright, jumping into the fun part, admissions requirements. So, for grade 12, you will need an English 12, you'll need a pre-calculus or kind of math 12 equivalent, you'll need a chemistry, but then if candidates that are like outstanding, have outstanding personal profile, they don't have chemistry, they're encouraged to still apply, and they'll be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. And then the same goes with physics 12, and then those are all the minimum requirements for grade 12, but there are also some grade 11 requirements that you need to watch out for. So the first thing is you need an English 11, you need a language 11, so this can be like French, this could be Mandarin, this could be Spanish. You need a math 11, you need a chemistry 11, and a physics 11. And any other related courses are also encouraged. So any kind of subject category showing like language arts, math computation, some CS courses, some other sciences, these are all relevant towards your degree, and even if they're not relevant, it shows a little bit of diversity and you're willing to put yourself out there. And UBC definitely looks for that, just like to see that if like you're kind of keen person willing to learn other subjects and put yourself out there. So definitely recommend taking a diverse course load in high school. Okay, now onto personal profile. although the admission requirements are really important and you need to have a strong GPA, which we'll go over the statistics later, the UBC engineering program application comes in two parts, like one GPA and two personal profile, and the personal profile is very, very important. So some sample questions is basically that 6 or 7 questions, and you just write kind of like short answer questions or essays about it. And some sample questions would be like, oh, tell us about who you are, like how would your family and friends like describe you, if possible, tell us something that like you're super proud of. Kind of like very similar to interview questions. And then you'd also describe 5 activities that you've been like participating in throughout high school, and those are just some sample questions for you. But most importantly, I want to talk about what they actually look for in the personal profile, and it's 4 kind of substances. So like one is engagement and accomplishment. So you're engaging with the extracurricular either for a long duration of time or engaging very like actively every single day, and you've accomplished something, whether this is like you swam and then you also got an award for swimming. They look for that, and they like to see that. The second thing is leadership. So taking initiative in your community, whether this is starting a non-profit, this is doing volunteering, this is leading a club, that's leadership skills that UBC is looking for. Okay, and then the next thing to look for is substance. So this is basically saying, have you taken enough time to reflect on what you're saying in a meaningful way, and the things you read about are like really deep and meaningful, and they're not just very surface level. And the last thing is voice. So voice is really like you showing yourself as a unique person and being yourself. So you demonstrate yourself to be very transparent, just being yourself and not just being fake. That's what they also look for, and you having your own personal voice. Okay, awesome. So now some admission statistics. These are always fun to go through, but just like don't take it too heavily with a grain of salt, because sometimes like these statistics are off, and even if you have like let's say like a lower average, your personal profile can definitely cover for that average. So the admission average is the minimum you need to apply to UBC is 80%, but we definitely recommend the average going above 90 plus just to have a better chance to get in. And anything above 90 plus, it really just plays a part in, obviously the higher average is better, but it plays in a part of your personal profile and how you demonstrate yourself. That's more important after your average is above 90. And the acceptance rate for UBC Engineering is around 45%. So definitely competitive, but definitely like not like super, super exclusive. And as long as you have a decent average with a strong personal profile, you definitely have some good chances to get in. Okay, let's talk about some student life. So first, starting with residence, and I'm super jealous because the Orchard Commons, which is one of the most popular residences for first year, is so nice. It's newly built. They have from single rooms to connected to suite to double rooms, and it costs around $11,000 to $15,000 depending on what kind of like combination of room you want. And then this is for full year. And then you can also just res for 1 term. So if you really want that university experience, just get to make new friends, I definitely recommend it. You can res for 1 term, and then you can maybe go live at home if you're living in like the greater Vancouver area and then commute to school. So for meal plan, it is expensive. So they have a $6,000 meal plan, but this is all access. You can go to any residence and you can have all you can eat. And then you also have Flex Dollars, which is a 5% saving on all campus related restaurants. And this basically covers a little bit of like the tax. So basically like no tax and a little bit of savings. And in terms of social life, so social life, there are many social events at UBC, just because it's like in Vancouver, but I'll just drop a link down in the bio. It has all the events at UBC throughout the year. This is their events calendar, so you can check out if something catches your eye, and you can definitely attend that as well. So UBC Corner Library is one of the main libraries on campus. It has a lot of resources in terms of like volumes, books, digital books, but also great study spots. So definitely check that out if you want a good study spot. But honestly, there's so many good study spots on campus, just like going to a cafe or just different places or different rooms or breakout rooms in your buildings. There are many places to study. In terms of clubs, there are 350 clubs under UBC AMS, which is basically their student government and their student union. So there's definitely a club that you would find yourself either as cultural, academic, or even career related. So now on to funding for program tuition for domestic students. It's around $7,000 for your first year, so $7,206 for your first year, and then from years 2 to 5, if you plan on doing co-op for your 5th year, it's around $7,700, every single year. And then if you're an international student, it's a flat fee of every single year of $7,700 approximately. So I know tuition can be definitely expensive, but there are some scholarships that you can apply for to definitely help with the cost. So there's the Presidential Scholars Scholarship, which is $40,000. There's also some student housing supplement grant eligible students that can receive additional financial support for their first year residence experience. There's also the Trek Excellence Scholarship for the top 5% of incoming students in their year, and there's also faculty specific awards that you can check out at UBC. But in addition to this, there's also financial aid that UBC offers. So the bursary program has a criteria, and it comes in three parts. So first, your individual student loan needs to be assessed, and this is determined by the provincial lender. The second thing is your program's eligibility to UBC's bursary funding. And then the last thing is your family size and then your prior year's family total income. So with those three kind of criteria, then it'll assess the unmet need of you and the tuition costs, and it'll try to give you some bursary to help fund that gap. So that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, just please like and subscribe and check out the 3-minute quiz down in the description below. It's literally free and it only would help you. All it does is check if you're eligible for any of GrantMe's support in terms of admissions or in terms of support for scholarships that you are eligible to apply to. So with that said, I'm happy you guys are watching this and I hope to see you guys in future videos as well.